I hope that our attitudes and the atmosphere we create and the work we do is part of that something new. So hello, welcome to the vlog. Today it's hot and sunny and I am in Mostar to do some recording, and I have with me my old synthesizer, which was really, I guess, the very first bit of studio gear that I got when we got here in Bosnia and Herzegovina. That was the spare bedroom in our apartment, which was those two windows there, which is where I started my producer journey. So why am I talking about my old synth, the old apartment, and the real origin story of the studio? Well, this is a big vlog for the studio because this week is a big week for Hombres Flowery, whose album comes out on Friday. So if you're watching this vlog on the first couple of days after it's come out, then you're going to have to be patient and wait till Friday the 20th of May 2022 to catch Mirna Bosna, the new blues album from Hombres Flowery, available on all good streaming services. I highly recommend it. You may not understand the language, but if you're a fan of good authentic music, you should enjoy it. I know I'm biased, like I'm the producer, I recorded and mixed the album, but it really is good, and I'm really happy for the guys. They've got a great album. I know they're really happy how it's all come together, and what we want is for you to have a smile on your face and be happy because you listened to it and it made you feel good. What does Mirna Bosna mean? Why is that the title of the album? I'm going to put this on. This is something Darko, the lead guitarist, the band leader, posted on his Facebook. If you understand what he's written here, you'll understand. If you don't, I think the nuance will be lost in translation, so I'm not even going to attempt it, so sorry for that. It was almost 3 years ago that Rowan and I bought the house we live in. It's essentially two apartments stacked. We live upstairs. Downstairs was going to be a guest bedroom, and I said to Rowan, I'm going to take one room and that's going to be the studio. And when we moved in, it was a bare and empty room. It was in June, and I was thinking, you know, like, that's going to be the studio in a very much a future tense kind of way. Within a month or so of us moving in, WeDo had been asked to play with the Hombres and at a blues festival, and one thing had led to another, and they had material and they wanted to record, and he played them an old recording that I'd done that I'd even forgotten that I'd made for another band that he was in, and said, look, I think Matt would be a good guy to record for us, first single. And they listened to it and said, yeah, no, that sounds good, let's do that. And he came to me and he's like, we want to record a single, when can we do it? And I was looking at this still relatively bare room going, well, not for months and months, you know, like, I didn't want to rush into trying to get a studio up and running. I felt like I needed some more equipment. Anyway, to his credit, he was persistent, and in the end I realised I need to take this prompt. I need to just go, okay, let's make it work, let's do it. And I did, and it was I guess 4 or 5 months after we'd moved into the house, we did the first single for Hombres Flowery, and it worked. We managed to have the whole band sitting in the room together, playing together, record it, and having a good result, which was a massive result for all of us. If you know anything about recording, you know that's not an easy thing to do, and it's definitely not an easy thing to do in a 4.5 square meter room, and to have a whole band playing in there together and to get good sound at the end of it. And that was the start of the journey with Hombres Flowery, which 2.5 years later leads us to their debut album coming out. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to work on this album, because not only has it been great fun to do it as a project, I know that it's been a benefit to all the other albums that I've been working on, all the other music I've been making. Today I'm in Mostar recording, tomorrow in Sarajevo recording, all for a new project for some new songs that's coming out in the next couple of months. And I know this project that I'm recording for today is going to be a better project because of everything that I've done for Hombres Flowery over the last couple of years. And so, yeah, I'm super grateful. So I think for me, some thank yous are in order. First, a big thank you to WeDo for believing in my abilities as a producer and as someone who can record and mix, and recommending me to the Hombres. Big thanks to the Hombres and Flowery for agreeing with his recommendation, and for coming and for playing and for trusting me to produce their recordings. And I want to say a big thanks to you for watching this, and for those of you particularly who supported the studio over the last couple of years of development. Some of you have donated money to help buy bits of equipment that has helped us do what we do, or help me do what I do. The older I get, the more I realise that less and less people keep at the things that they wanted to do when they were in their teens or their early 20s. And increasingly I have more and more respect for the musicians and the songwriters and the artists who are my age or a little bit older than me, who are still out there making music, still out there writing songs that they believe are important and putting them out into the world. I love what we do with Novi Most. I love teaching young people to play music. I think it's a fantastic privilege to help someone start their musical journey. But it's also a massive privilege to help people who are down the road, who've had some heartbreaks and disappointments and disillusionment through music, to continue to make music and to continue to put it out into the world. People who are older and are still doing music, they face difficulties, they face disappointments, and if they're still doing it, it's because they really believe in it. They believe it's important to have good songs out there. They believe that music can really help people and make a difference. So I'm not going to give you a "this is my favourite song" off the album. I think that's unfair, and I don't want to prejudice your listening of it. But I do want to draw attention to the message of the last song on the album, which basically, if I paraphrase it into one sentence, is "it's time for something new." And that is a sentiment that I agree with. And like, it's talking about it's time for something new, like here in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I agree with that. I hope that the work that we do through Novi Most with young people in Jajica and Novi Most around Bosnia and Herzegovina is part of that. I hope that the music that we're teaching is part of that change. That's something new. I hope that our attitudes and the atmosphere we create and the work we do is part of that something new. And I hope that we're going to be able to be part of making more music in the future that adds to that new atmosphere in this country and in this part of the world. And so that's it for this week's vlog. Thanks very much for watching. Do give us a big thumbs up for Mirna Bosna. Do remember to check out the new album from Hombres Flowery. Do leave a comment, a question if you want to know more, and do remember that together we do adventure. We'll see you next time.